So now things get real. So let's talk about that. So yeah, Link collects back season 2. And season 1, I've said this before in the last one, but season 1 I felt was a bit more relaxed of sorts. Like, it's there, it exists, but most of it is, you still get sad stuff, but most of it overall is looking into like mysteries, like, oh, what happened here, and like looking into the past and seeing how the past changes. And I like that. And then it gets a sharp turn into like an intense thriller, which most of the time I don't really like shows. I've said it with another show, I don't know where it is, but there's another show where it's one thing and then it changes it, and I'm not a fan of that. But with this, the reason why I'm fine with this is because it felt like even season 1 slowly made it more dramatic. Like, again, usually I would consider spoilers for season 1, not for season 2. Just let you know for that. You get the first case, which is basically learning up some secrets on another company. The second case is learning about a recipe and learning how two friends slowly went apart. The third case is then it gets a little bit more darker about like these people died in this earthquake and he couldn't say anything about it. And then you have the fourth case, which I don't remember, but again it just slowly gets more. No, the fourth case I think is the missing person, and I feel that slowly just gets more and more dark, which I think is interesting. And I find it really interesting because of that. And when you get into this, you slowly learn more about that as well. And when you're learning about this, and you're learning about like why they did it, and I like at first, you kind of get given this story, and then you learn something else. It's not as clear cut. But that's what I think is interesting about this. And the one thing which I would say is important is spoilers in general, but this gets, I would like to point out, if you don't want to listen to spoilers, because I will get not into too much detail, I'm just going to talk about it, but I don't know if I need to put that there. It exists. Maybe skip this part. Okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're good. We're good. The villains had an abusive father, which was set around by secrets by, I think, like, certain people. And because of that, that went off and all of this happened. And it's so insane. I also like the idea that at first glance, the neighbor is like, oh, the neighbor's just there. The neighbor actually does a lot to like, oh no, this is happening. But then you realize, oh no, the reason why this all came off is something went on. Someone told a secret and then they blamed X, Y, and Z. But overall, what happened is, yes, they sort of like heard about the secret by spreading around like, oh, there's no other reason, and gossiping. And because of that, so many like stuff gets put into motion. And I like the idea of the... It also shows one other thing, which is powers combining, which makes sense. Because you have one person who can jump into the past and then look into that. And then you have another person who sort of can see memories through photos. And I like how that combines with each other. I also like how the other duo's power combines. I think that's really interesting. And overall, how each one combines and uses power, and what happens at the end is sad, but I feel like you have this main guy and two people, and this main guy was just insane in that sort of way, and I just like it. I find it really interesting. I do think and recommend. Actually, no. I'll do it in this section. I do recommend this. I do like this. But I will say it does get a bit dark. Not going to mention it here, like I said earlier. But it does get a bit dark. Besides the point, I think you should watch it. I think it's really good. So yeah. So I hope you enjoy, I hope you like, and I hope you subscribe or follow or whatever. Good night.